Well, if you take a flower and you put it in the wrong environment, it may not grow and it may actually die prematurely. But a flower in a better environment, in the right environment, it will grow and flourish to its full potential. And humans are living organisms just like flowers. And what I found in life is your environment plays a part in the quality of your life. Your environment is the temperature, the culture, and the surroundings at a basic level. Good to see you, Andre. And while there is no exact science to life, there are things that you can do to get an edge. I've often said it's amazing that when Tom Brady played for the New England Patriots, that they got caught deflating the football. They got caught spying on the opposing team's practice. You say, why would someone so talented, some people say Tom Brady is one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, the coach, Bill Belichick, one of the greatest coaches ever, the teams that they had were some of the greatest. Why would they go the extra mile to get these edges? Because to win a championship, people look for an edge whenever they can get it. And in your life, to live your best life, no perfect life, to live your best life, one of the edges, one of the things that gives you a little bit extra advantage is if you can position yourself in a better environment that suits your individual personality. Because you have a fingerprint that's different than your mother and your father. Your father may have been brought up in Pennsylvania, and that may be his best environment, but you may thrive in South Florida. Your mother may have been born in Canada, but you may like to live in California. What do you thrive in? The climate, the culture, and the people. A couple days ago, I was in central North Florida. And for me, I felt a lack of energy. I felt a little bit of a headache. Going a couple hours south to South Florida, I'm in the same state, totally more inspired. Even within the same state you live, a couple hours can make a difference in environment. Iguanas are not found in all parts of Florida, only South Florida. Why? Their blood and their type thrive in a certain environment. You know, look, when you're a child, there's only so much you can do. You're brought up and your parents are going to raise you wherever they thrive or whatever they choose or wherever they just decided to stay. But as an adult, one of your best things about being adult is you get to decide your life. But to do it, you're going to have to be willing to change. You're going to have to be willing to put in some work, and you're going to have to be willing to separate from your familiar environment, your familiar setting, and go out there and explore your best life. And my concluding statement on this subject, which is very important, and I'm going to go to these live comments, is that I figured out that environment affects me. You know, when I visited Florida as I got older and I kind of figured I really want to try to move down there, I could tell my mental health, my physical health, it was so much better when I was in Florida. And it's true, though, Florida is not perfect. Like I said, there's different parts of Florida. And it's true that, you know, there could be a hurricane. Some people don't like it very hot in the summer. I enjoy the summer, I just don't enjoy hurricanes. I always say I had a hurricane in New Jersey, Hurricane Sandy. But for me now, I know the environment that I thrive in 90% of the time. I don't think you're going to find anything that's 100% because every place, Kentucky just had tornadoes. Why don't they say, why are you moving to Kentucky? It has tornadoes. They always say, why you moved to Florida? It has hurricanes. I find that interesting. Kentucky has higher poverty, worse opportunities, and worse weather. No one ever questions you if you move to Kentucky. So, you know, people will question you, you know, and then you'll question yourself, am I doing the right thing? Now, the only thing I question at this point, I don't question the environment that I thrive in best. I know that now, South Florida. But I question, do I stay in a fixed location? Do I buy a house or do I stay on wheels for that 10% of the time? that 10% of the time where I'd like to leave South Florida. You could cut that pie a million ways. I've made a million videos about the difference between living on wheels versus having a home base. The truth is, it's individual, just like your fingerprint. The truth is, I love that I'm grateful that my mom's still alive, and as long as she's alive, I will always make time to visit her every year. But if my mom wasn't alive, I would probably never go up north unless there was a hurricane and that was the only pathway out. So that's what kind of like says, well, living on wheels long term is, tough to justify in many ways for me. For some people, they haven't explored their best environment. But that's part of like this, back and forth I go with myself. Because for me, my best life is trying to figure out, again, how to be financially free, how to, be in an environment that inspires me, how to get the most out of my talents and gifts. To me, it wasn't about not just about how can I live super cheap. It's not just about how can I do this. To me, it was about how can I live my best quality life, because that's your best life. You'd be foolish to get on the road and not trying to figure out how you can live where you want to live, make multiple sources of income there, and then go after that. Many people get on the road, they keep investing in the road, and I don't know if they're really investing in the quality of life, just rather trying. That's why I've been very cautious in 5 years to reinvest in wheels, because I'm not investing in exploring unless exploring leads me to my quality of life. To me, quality of life is financial independence, being in the area I want, and enough flexibility to endure some disruption. And that's where I still stayed on the wheels because of that. But with that being said, let's go back to these live comments. Pluto, $5 super chat. Brother, please also pray over me to have God bless me and protect me at work and protect me from evil. Please, brother, I will, Pluto. I will say a prayer right now through a conversation with you, because a prayer is just talking to, God. For those who believe, it's just talking to something. And I often say, if you're an atheist and you curse God, shame on you. You should curse nothing, because you don't believe in God. Just curse nothing. At least if I get upset, I do curse God, but I also thankful to God, pray to God, praise God. So Pluto, I pray that God protects your mental health. I pray that you mitigate risk so that you don't do self-inflicted wounds through excessive gambling, excessive risk. I pray that you mitigate your suffering through eating a relatively healthy diet. I pray that you go for a walk so that you keep your blood flowing. I pray that when you have bad days, because you will, that you are at least in an environment that inspires you. And if you don't know your environment, then keep flexibility till you can find it. I pray that God keeps us all safe. Okay. The truth is, in this world, I was walking by the beach. I want to tell you this. Now, I wasn't in my best environment. It was in Central Florida. I like East Coast. I like Southeast. But I was in Central Florida the other day. So I want to tell you. I was walking right by the beach. And you know what happened, Pluto? 20 feet in front of me, an electric line, high voltage line came, sparks flew, and one of the lines dropped on the ground. I could have died 20 feet difference walking by the beach. I pray that God protects us. Remember, at any time, anything can happen. Sometimes we get jaded that we're going to live forever. Sometimes we forget the average life expectancy is 80, but we don't have to reach that. Sometimes if you're past that, you think that you're going to live to 1,000. So I pray that God protects all of us. I pray that we go after our best life. I pray that we do the things we need to do to mitigate our risk, to mitigate our suffering. I pray that we show up even when we don't hit a home run. Remember, every video is not a home run. Every investment is not a home run. Sometimes you strike out. Sometimes you just get on first. Show up, keeping a flow of life. Those who stay idle will never hit a home run. Why? Their flow is gone. A lot of times in life, we're just hitting a jab. Okay? We're just hitting a jab just to set up for the uppercut. And remember, in life, we don't just get hit. Excuse me, we don't just hit, we get hit back. So endurance, I pray for endurance. That's why you have an emergency fund. That's why you always have an exit strategy if you're on a road. That's why you live below your means. So if an emergency comes up, always have that buffer as best you can. So love to you, Pluto. I appreciate you. I pray for your family. I pray for you often. Okay, you know that. And you know we have real conversation, brother. Let's go back to these live comments. I will, man. I pray for you. I've been praying for you because I could tell through our conversation you've been in a little bit of a funk, like I have. So I'm not above being in a funk. And what I could tell you is you show up, which you are. And, you know, when you don't hear from someone, that's when you know they're fucked up. Okay. That's when you know they're back addicted to drugs. Now, certainly when you hear from someone and they're like unnaturally happy, then you say to myself, well, maybe they're on too many drugs or something's going on. Their medication's off. All I can tell you, Pluto, is remember, focus on yourself. Remember, cut yourself a break. Cut other people a break, but have boundaries. Why? That's the best we can do. Love to you, man. Let's go to these live comments now. Andre, again, thank you for being first. Tony, hey, Sam. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Shout out to Marilyn. My man, Pluto. Much love to you, Nomad. Right back to you. I have a very important phone call today with my company, HR. How can I ask her to give me a promotion that is much deserved as the value capacity I bring to the company is good? Let me continue to read, then I'll answer that. He goes, please advise me, brother. I'm worried that I will mess this call up. Well, every year when I have a review, you work with a company, every year you have a review with your manager. During the course of the year, I make a folder of all the big projects I'm working on so that I have factual evidence of the big projects that I've executed. So you should have a folder of all the jobs that you have gone above and beyond over these past 12 months. If you don't, there's not much I can do because that's what you need. You need proof. And you also got to remember that even when you have proof that you've exceeded expectation, there is still a base raise for everyone, which is anywhere between 2 to 5% of your annual salary if you're, doing good, and maybe a one-time bonus if it's in your job title. But you're not going to get a 20, 30% bonus. You're not going to get something out because it's just not in the scope of what HR does or what a company does. Certainly there's exceptions, but that's not the average. So you got to be not delusional, but realistic. And you can't depend on these extra bonuses or annual increases because there's no guarantee. It's not in your job title to guarantee you. And if you really need to increase your income, get a side hustle, keep your W-2, get a 1099, and then apply for other jobs that pay higher, that pay 20, 30% higher, secure that job, secure the start date, and then give your 2 weeks notice. So you got to approach this call with the right mindset, with proof, number one, with expectation, number two. There's only so high of a percentage increase you can get based on your job title, etc. And then three is, if it still is not within what you need, then you need to go somewhere else, but don't leave what you have till you have something else. Hopefully that helps. Oh, we got $2.99 super chat from Tracy Robinson. Hey, Tracy, I love that super sticker. I believe that's a cat, but it looks like a squirrel. I've fed the squirrels the past 2 days, but depending on what environment I'm at, the squirrels are not around. In certain parks I go to, there's squirrels and they're friendly. In other parks I go to, there may be a squirrel, but they're not friendly. So every environment, even the squirrels act different. Never forget that. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Pluto. Let's go back to these live comments. Tony, the Patriots are cheaters. They also filmed the Giants before the Super Bowls. Yeah, I wasn't a big Patriot fan, but I used that as an example. That I always like, for me, what I took that lesson as was, wow, someone that great still looks for an edge. I remember the San Antonio Spurs, when they were trying to win a championship, they would foul Shaq or something, or they would foul players, put them on the line to give them a greater, it wasn't in the flow of the game, but it was legal in the game, and they would just intentionally foul people to put poor percentage free throw shooters at the line. And I remember Popovich basically said that, look, I don't like it, but it's within the rules and it's an edge that we need to use. So again, I'm not saying anyone should do anything illegal, but I'm saying in life you look for edges to live your best life. And one of the edges, like I say, I live in my car for an edge. It doesn't solve your problems, it can make them worse, but it accelerates you getting ahead if you put in the work to maximize your revenue, pick up side revenue, and you're consistent. But you take a higher risk. So everything has a risk reward. Back to these live comments. Pluto, I've been through so much with losing my mother. I know I felt that. And my father, my aunt, my whole family. And none with my injuries. I never play victim, though. I keep hearing your voice in my head. Pluto, I love you. And I know there's pain. But I know that you're trying to be as positive as you can. Pluto, one day at a time. There you go. Self-care, self-control. Yes. Time management. Yes. No storage unit. No. Live on a budget. There you go. These are all things that'll help you. Keep a savings account separate from your investment account. You're listening. These are wisdom. They have nothing to do with me. This is wisdom. And if wisdom guides you, grace will protect you. You'll still have bad days, bad months, and you'll still curse God. But you'll be able to get back up. The godly may fall 7 times, but they will get up again. Good job, Pluto. Pluto, you helped me wake up in this world, brother. Thank you to everyone. So excited for the future. Well, thank you also. Because look, sometimes I hate the future. I hate life. But what do? I practice the things we just talked about. And then my hope is renewed. You have bad days and then you have good days. So you just keep fighting, brother. Love to you. Pluto. Yep. I just gave you the advice already, but I really appreciate you asking that question because I think it was good to talk that out. So like you said, just stay productive and hopefully the things I shared helped you. Pluto, please, you got it. He goes, I need brother more than you know. I just broke that down. Pluto, love to everyone. We all find ways to make this world beautiful. Yeah, look, you can improve the world. The world has improved if you look over 500 years. 500 years ago, guys, you would only live to probably around 40. You basically would never leave a farm. You certainly would never travel. You certainly would never have the internet. You certainly would never have modern amenities. You would live off the land. You'd be around your family your entire life. You'd be lucky if there was one new girl or one new guy you ever see. Forget about having a pet. You'd be killing your pets for food. And so, guys, 2021 is better than 1721. And if you don't believe me, how many people died of the Black Plague? Forget about the coronavirus. Why don't you look at other plagues? Imagine if we had Dr. Fauci doing some of them. Yeah, some of these psychopaths that curse modern medicine, let's put them back 200, 300 years ago. When there was no modern medicine. You want to go to the gynecologist? Nah, that blood coming out of your uterus, oh, that's natural. Don't take any modern medicine. Oh, you want to have kids, but you can't naturally? Well, why would you allow modern medicine to inject you with something unnatural? So remember, if you're using modern medicine to get pregnant or to get breast implants or to get whatever, to get your prescription filled, why are you against other modern medicine? Everything has a pro and a con. Okay? I'm not saying you should do something that you don't believe in, but I'm just saying also deal with context of what you think when you think about like everyone's against you or, oh, I don't believe in this, I don't believe in that. Because I see people doing some things with modern medicine that are totally unnatural. But then they'll never do some other things with medicine that are, So remember in life, guys, you got to have a perspective. And there's no exact science to life. Okay? But there is science. There's a balance. And we're all trying to figure that out. Tracy, thank you again. Pluto, thank you again. Good to see you again. Andre and Tony, I hope these words are helping you. Okay? Because we are just hitting a jab every day. Okay? Showing up, trying to take care of our responsibilities, and also trying to take care of our inspiration. Trying to take care of our joy, our hope. How do we do that? Well, through wisdom and through the grace of God, through nothing if you believe in nothing. But, obviously you got to do something. So you got to believe in something, even if it's yourself and, whatever. So bottom line is productivity over idleness. Bottom line is your best environment over the environment you grew up with if it doesn't sit well with you. If you're going to waste 6-8 months in the winter and you don't enjoy winter, you got to think about that. Especially in 2021 where a lot of people can work remote. Why would you suffer through 6 to 8 months a year that the environment dies? I want you to remember your quality of life, part of it, is tied to your environment. Look at these bushes and these trees, guys and girls. Are they surviving in any environment? Not in the winter, not in some states, not in some parts of the world. So, look, for me, when I look at getting off the road, the only reason I would, there's only one reason. If the quality of life can improve. And I think at some point, something can, but I'm very cautious. Why? No need to rush. But I do say, I'm always thinking about what can improve my quality of life. But I'm not doing it through consumerism. There's a lot of nomad minimalists that are buying vehicles or doing different things. They might as well just buy a couch, buy a new, it's like, guys and girls, it's better to be called indecisive with regards to buying than it is to be reckless in spending, because you only get so many purchases over $5,000. In your lifetime, you're only going to get so many purchases where you can spend over $5,000 without affecting your financial health. So why you would rush that, why you would try to, I don't know, it's like you got to be careful. But I've been young, I've done those things. So I don't want to begrudge you if you're young and you're experiencing. I'm just saying I have to also learn from my past. ESP, hey Sam, listening to you in the background. ESP, tell me the temperature in Alaska right now where you're at. Tell me, ESP, in your opinion, because you have a different fingerprint than me. I want you to answer me, ESP. Are you in your best environment? And if you had a choice right now, what environment would you put yourself in? A different part of Alaska, a different part of America, a different part of the world. Where would you go? David Lopez, what's up, brother? He goes, I was in contact with a Winnebago dealer and got 4 links sent to my email for travel trailers, 2 Mini Winnies and 2 Jaycos. These new Jaycos, the 2022s, are very nice design. I almost bought one when I was looking at that country lot. Shout out to my man, Jack Burse. I think he got one. I know he's mad at me because I basically fired him up. But I want to tell you this, is that a RV is great, man. It's a house on wheels. And I still struggle, is that a better quality of life versus a home base? But the reason I kind of lean towards a home base that can turn to an RV lot, because if you're on wheels and you're traveling outside your best environment, why are you doing that? And if you're trying to live cheap and you're spending tens of thousands of dollars on an RV versus trying to figure out how you can live in a community, why are you doing it? The only reason you should live on wheels is if the quality of life is better. And in some regards it is, depending on the season of life. But you got to think about that. Okay. And David continued, goes, they are all relatively new. Saw pictures, have to see them in person. Like I say, the Mini Winnies I don't like. Winnebago I like. I love the Winnebago Solus Pocket. If I get an RV, that's going to be it. Travel trailer I only like, if you're into towing or if you got a home base. But, look, the only part of quality of life that's better on the road is you're not entrenched in a community gossip BS. You have a level of flexibility, but you're not getting away from expenses or bullshit. Because, then you got to deal with whatever camping fees are, whatever the logistics of gas fees are, and then you're traveling again to some campgrounds, some RV parks that may not be desirable. Like, I was 2 weeks at a state park I loved. Then I had to travel away for 3 days. Got to go to a different park that I didn't love. Different, then I had to stealth park for a couple nights. So, that's what you got to think about, One Flying Solo, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother. Love to you. Let's get this energy up, guys. You're responsible for your energy. I'm responsible for the energy of this live feed. But not to just make it fun for the sake of fun. Because when you're down, say you're down. When you're up, say you're up. But show up. Keep a flow in life. ESP. When she got up this morning, it said 1 degree Fahrenheit in the van. And then she goes, I like Alaska. The winters never get colder than 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, she just wish, I guess that, yeah. So she likes Alaska, but she don't like the fact that every year it gets below 20 and she wished it didn't. My mom used to say every year in New Jersey, I hope it doesn't snow this year. And just about every year it did. And if it didn't, it got damn cold. And that's when I realized, like, I can't change this weather other than changing my environment. So ESP, as much as you love Alaska, the winters will never change. So either you're going to have to be a snowbird, which I believe that's your goal, which, look, that can be an answer for your best environment for some people. But you say inspirational nomad, yeah, why don't you do that? Then chase 70 degrees, chase 80 degrees. Environments are not just climate, they're culture. They're surroundings. Even if I give you 70 degrees, there's culture in different places of the world, different places of the country you may not like. Temperature is only one part of environment. Never forget it. ESP says, I like Northern California too. I used to spend several months a year there. I don't like how dry it is. Yeah, I need that moisture. That's why I don't do the desert, but love and respect everyone who does. And then she goes, there are always water shortages there. Yep, that's another thing you have to consider. Yep. And look, places like Florida, there may be flooding in certain areas, but for me, it hasn't been any issue that I couldn't work around. And maybe the same thing for water in the desert areas. I don't know. David, for me, I want to be able to do my cooking. Yeah, then you're going to need a kitchen. You're going to need a van with a camping cooktop or a Class B, or you're going to need a travel trailer. But above that, you're going to need to know where you're going to park it. Okay, because you have a hot dog stand, which is basically like a travel trailer. So just like you can't put that hot dog stand anywhere. So that's a good example that, because you basically already pulled a travel trailer with your hot dog stand, what the logistics are. Logistics are moving things from one place to another. Logistics are moving things from one place to another. Why would you move something? Only if it gives you a better return on your investment. Why would you move something? Only if it's better. You wouldn't move something to make it worse. Why would you do that? Your quality of life is moving yourself logistically to your best environment. David. ESP, excuse me. ESP. I've seriously been thinking about where to spend my winters lately. Next year, once I get my remote job up and running, I would like to spend a few months in Greece and also in Spain. Yeah, see, that's interesting when it comes to desires. I know your mother liked to travel internationally. It sounds like you have a similar bug, a similar itch. I never had a desire to travel internationally. So is one way right or wrong? No, everyone has a different fingerprint. And that's why, maybe your mother liked it, maybe she didn't, maybe you like it, maybe someone else doesn't. Everyone does have to figure out, based on their desires and using wisdom to get there, how to fulfill that desire. Okay? Because that's part of your destiny. That's part of your best life. So yeah, I could see you doing that, ESP. So here's the other thing, ESP. See, if you have a desire to travel internationally, then you have to think about, well, does it make sense to buy an $80,000, $100,000 Class B? And then you would have to say, well, how like, as an example, ESP, if you could work 100% remote right now and you were settled in, how often would you be overseas? 50% of the time? 80% of the time? See, if you're going to be on the road over 50% of the time, then it makes sense to stay on wheels. If you're going to be in one area 90% of the time, then it makes sense to get a home base. That's where the difference of lifestyles, the difference of perspective individual comes into play. That's our girl, Pat to the go. I went on your channel, Pat. Loved you in the Christmas songs. I remember I bought the Ashanti R&B Christmas album. I was very disappointed, but I used to have a crush on Ashanti and her mother. Pat, go. I want to tell you this. I saw your video of you with that washing machine thing. It looked crazy, but you looked happy, and I don't know if that was your husband in the background with his hand, but I clicked that thumbs up. I left a comment. Why, Pat, go? I want to show you love and respect. I want to show you support. Now, I believe your best environment is in Arizona. That's what you believe, right? I want to know, are you bringing that washing machine down there? You got a handmade washing machine. I saw that. One flying solo, going through a divorce. Let's talk about one flying solo. Well, let's not talk about divorce. Why? Because when I was dating a MILF, I used to ask about her marriage, and she said, Sam, I don't want to talk about that. That's past. I don't want to bring it up. So I said, all right, you're right. One flying solo says at ESP, I can relate, except I don't like it when I get much below the 40s. Yeah. I used to always say, one flying solo and everyone, when I was in New Jersey, I could bear it if it was 50 degrees or above, especially if it was 50 sunny with no wind. I can handle it. But anything below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and if the sun or the wind, if the sun was down and the wind was out, no good. But even 50 degrees, guys, that's not my best life. My best quality of life is definitely above 70, preferably above 80 during the day. And yeah, that's how I like it. And I like it moist. Not like South Florida. I was in Central Florida. I got to be South Florida, guys. Just who I am. Back to one flying solo. He goes, thankfully, it's only a couple months out of the year. Delaware has mild winters and very little snowfall most years. Really? Well, I guess, yeah, South Jersey always had less snowfall than North Jersey. So maybe there's a level of truth to that. Okay. Thank you, One Flying Solo, for sharing. ESP. If I do that, I will put my Class B in storage for the few months I was away. Yeah, the only negative with that is if you have a motor home, a vehicle with an engine, that thing should be started at least once a month, and it should be drove once a month at variable speeds, because you got to keep those hoses and those components. You got to have that oil and that gasoline flowing through it. It's not good to make a regular habit out of keeping a vehicle that has an engine idle for weeks on end. Why? Because the hoses crack. It's out of a flow, so obviously it can be done, but it's not good practice. So if you're going to do that, you may be better off with a travel trailer, because that doesn't have an engine and all those things, right? So, but again, you do what you want. Why? It's your life. I'm just sharing. Tony, brother, you getting ready to sell that house? I'm not sure. Pluto, I love you. I will pray for you. I hope my words helped. Andre, man, I hope you're doing well. Andre was traveling around the world just a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, look, a lot of people, travel is exciting. It breaks up a routine, and it allows you to see different environments. To me, travel at this point, I've seen what I wanted to see. Everyone's different. And now it's just exhausting. I'm just always trying to get to my best environment. And it is, everyone's just got that different desire, But like I said, I was commenting on someone's channel the other day, and I said, look, you can go anywhere, but you go back to the same area. Why? It's your best environment. My man Milano lives in Miami. 8 years. He left a comment saying, I love Milano. And his friend Emilio. They both live in Miami in a Class B in a park in South Florida. And they like the lifestyle, but they don't really go anywhere. That's their environment. So even when there was a hurricane, I remember Emilio did a video. He didn't leave until the hurricane was like damn near blowing his RV away. So some people like to live in the RV just to not be in a community. And I understand that. You don't want to deal with the politics of a community. You want to be independent. And you're willing to sacrifice, live in a park or live in a campground. Live, in parking lots, whatever. I get it. Because I live it. I get it. But the thing is, you just got to remember, if you're not moving around, you're saying that you're in your best environment and you just like the lifestyle of not being attached to a community. And I get that. And you're willing to pay the price. One flying solo. Sam, I'm taking the divorce well. So far, I've stuck with a lot of self-care, exercise, and I didn't move far either. Good. You gotta heal before you reposition. And you gotta settle everything out legally. Good. First, he goes, so the change was minimal. Excellent job. When you're in a volatile situation, the less movement, the better. Just focus on self-care. Good job. Smaller living space and less stuff has helped me a lot. Minimalism for the win, whether you have a home base or an RV. Why? Less stuff to worry about, more you can focus on your environment. You got a lot of stuff, you're not going to be in the environment, you're going to be surrounded by your stuff. You want to enjoy the environment, and stuff should only enhance your environment, enhance your quality of life. And look, I definitely know that I need some enhancement because I do not feel like I'm living my best quality life. And so for me, the debate is only, because I'm 90% of the time in South Florida, home base, or, the RV where I can stand up. I got just a little bit more space, and I'm self-contained per se, but then the only negative with that, I like that lifestyle better rather than being entrenched in a community. But I don't like the fact that I got to move every 2 weeks from campgrounds. I got to play the merry-go-round with the RV parks, campground stuff. That's the only negative, I'm still trying to figure that out, but I'm going to take my time. Why? For the most part, I have a good quality of life, obviously, and nothing's perfect. And I do feel I can use some improvement. But again, you're only, as you get older, I did it when I was younger, and you should do it too. I want to remind all my younger viewers, you get to live your life just like I did. You're listening to a 41-year-old man. So if you're in a different season, enjoy your life. But obviously, I got to share my life and how I feel about things at this point. And if you love marriage, if you love children, remember, everyone listening that has a different perspective. You got to do what you feels your thing. But remember, guys, I was someone who I don't want to say that because I don't want to be hurtful, but I just want to say this. If you're depressed, if you struggle mentally, physically, emotionally, you can do whatever you want with your life. But bringing another child into this world is someone else's life. And so just remember that, because I take that serious. It's just like breeding dogs, I don't know, you just, I don't want to be hurtful for people who have different desires, okay? But I don't want to I don't want to neglect the suffering that I've seen in this world. And I think overall, I've been fortunate, okay, from what I've seen. And I live in a great part of the world compared to many others. So, I don't know, but, I don't know. It's a hard thing to say. Maybe some people are enjoying their life that you think aren't, but the majority of people I came across in life are self-medicating through drugs, food, or alcohol, are in unhealthy relationships, are not financially independent, and I don't know. I don't know if they're happy. But again, then I go too far down the road of looking at other people, and I say, you know what? Everyone do whatever they want. I'm just doing what I want. Okay, so I don't want to control people. Everyone has the right to do whatever they want. Just remember, you have the right to do what you want for you. You start affecting other people or bringing other people into the world, you're affecting other people. Jesse, Sam, whose funeral would you attend if it means changing your environment for a while? None. My mother is the only one I'd make an exception, if I had to go. But my mom, just like me, wants to be cremated, I believe. But I don't want to have a funeral for her and see her sisters and all that bullshit. Nah, hell no. I don't want a funeral for me. I wouldn't go. But if I had to, my mom would be the only one I would adjust for. Everyone else, guys, let the dead bury the dead. That's how I feel, just like Jesus felt. But should everyone listen to me and not go to funerals? Everyone should do what they want. I will say this. I was part of a funeral. I went to a funeral for a great friend of mine who passed, and I'm glad I did. So I don't want to, again, I'm in a certain season of my life where, I'm just at a different point. But in my 20s, when I lost some people I knew, some of the funerals that I went to were life-changing, were a blessing. Just connect with people and, experience of life. But at this point in my life, again, I've mainly disconnected from a lot of people. So, the only person I would make that exception for would be my mom for the most part. So, but there's no exact answer to that. I kind of shared on it. So love to you, Jesse. I hope you're doing well with your house and your life and your investments and your work. Love to you, Jesse. Love to you, One Flying Solo. ESP Packgro. Thank you again, Tracy, David. Shout out to you, Pluto, Tony, and Andre. Shout out to everyone out there. Cartoon Mark, Charles. Let's take a hydration break. So, I'll tell you this, my hip has been hurting lately. I don't know if because I put my leg up like this. I was thinking about you, Jesse. So after 4 years living in your car, your hips hurt or something. And I said, yeah, I definitely need something I can stand up in. I need a little more privacy. That's what I need. I like to RV, but I got to stay by the beach. I don't like moving away from the beach. If I get more than 10 minutes away from the beach, guys, my energy level goes down. Okay, it does. Charles, what's up, brother? What's up, Sammy? Charles, you're doing a great job on your channel. You're almost at 100 subs. ESP's got over 100 subs, and she hasn't even shown her face yet. So remember, there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. Okay, you can do RV reviews, never show your face, and get a lot of views. You can do CAD tutorials, and over time, that's going to build possibly because that's a great skill set a lot of people need to learn. Okay, and Charles, you're very personable. You got a great tone. You got a great delivery. So I think you're an undiscovered gem. And, you know, like I say, look, did I want to quit when I had less than 100 subs? Yeah. Then I remember I got over 100 subs 4 years ago. And I was like, at like 112 subs, I was like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. Kept doing it. Then getting to 1,000 subs was like this huge thing. But then it still took me like another couple months to get monetized. Because they changed the rules like halfway through. And then I was just getting frustrated. And then even at 28,000 subs, I still wanted to quit. So why am I sharing this? I'm sharing this because, guys, look, we always want to give up. Some things, maybe you should give up, but some things, just keep fighting through. Jesse, oh yeah, my hips are all screwed up. It's my fault. I work a desk job, and all my side hustles keep me glued to the computer. Yeah. Look, yeah, I've worked in the field. I've worked behind a desk. You know, I can tell you this, no matter what you do, every hour, take a 15-minute break and just go for a light walk, low impact, just to keep your blood flowing, keep your joints lubricated. See, sometimes, like the past couple of days when I'm driving 2 hours to go to different parts to stay under the radar and to stay compliant with campgrounds, driving, yeah, you stop every hour or so, but you're driving for an hour. 2 hours, your hips are locked, your body's locked. You know, if I had a home base by the beach, you know, every 20 minutes I'm up. I can't sit more than 20 minutes. These live feeds are the longest I sit. Like, what is it now, 42 minutes? And it's like, as soon as I'm done with this live feed, I go for a walk. I can't sit this long. It's not good. One Flying Solo. Sam, just curious. Have you noticed that hiding the public view of thumbs down has cut down on trolling? Yes. And also improved mental health and improved the environment of YouTube. So, yeah, it's another step towards the right environment for social media. Look, there's no reason for a thumbs down or trolling. Why? Because no one is forced to be in any channel or on any social media. It's a willing choice. And if you don't like it, you have a right not to like it. But you don't have a right, okay, to spread negativity. Because many people who click the thumbs down, they do it through fake profiles and several fake ones, and just to cause problems. So, you know, there's no value in it, you know, because they're not forced to be here. And we're not passing any laws here. This isn't Congress, you know. So, you know, and even if someone's talking about politics, guys, we're going forward. Social media may have been a huge social experiment, and maybe all of us failed a little bit and society failed a little bit, but it'll improve just like modern medicine. Remember 100 years ago when if you couldn't get pregnant, you were screwed? Thank God for modern medicine that you can get injected and have a baby unnaturally. So, if we believe that things can improve, and we use those things, we can't be selective in what we improve. And we must recognize that making an environment better through lack of negativity helps. Now, should something be all positive? I'm not all positive, so I don't, but it's my channel. Okay, so if people don't like it, they go somewhere else. If I'm on a channel and I don't like it, I go somewhere else. So that's how I feel about that. Good job. Charles, we found a good quality of life crushing it with our YouTube videos. It's satisfying knowing others like you trying to accomplish the same thing, staying productive. Yeah, look, the only negative with YouTube from a side hustle perspective, a creative perspective, there's only so much you can create, and it's a job. Okay. And even when you're passionate about a job, every day you don't knock it out of the park. Every day you don't feel like going. And if you stop showing up to YouTube, you lose a flow, and then you lose subscribers or you lose momentum. So look, every video I'm going to do is not going to be a great RV review. It's not going to be a viral video. So it's the grind, man. And over years that gets to you. So and you got to keep doing it or else you lose the traction. So, but it's like everything in life. If you don't do what you're passionate about, if you don't have some level of creativity in life, and if you don't have some side hustles in life, you're not going to live your best quality of life. Why? Because everything requires some pain. It's like if you don't go to the gym, yeah, you're not going to have the pain of going to the gym, but you're also not going to feel your best quality of self. If you don't go for a walk, yeah, now you can take another nap, but you're not going to feel your best quality of self. Everything requires a little discomfort. I don't know why. I wish it wasn't, but you're right. Stay productive, Charles. Jesse, my aunt is trying to skip the funeral. Good. She don't want to see other family members. I agree with her. I think is a bad idea because she kept the guy alive for 15 years. She's going to regret it. I don't know. For me, again, I recognize there's been some funerals I went to, when I was younger, some people I know passed. It was a blessing. But at this point, other than my mom, I ain't going to no funerals. They're a shit show. Yeah, I don't like it. But, I don't know the whole situation with your family. But a funeral is not your best environment, but I don't know, man. Like I say, there's some exceptions there, even in my own life. I thank God I went to certain funerals. So, but I remember how hard it was for me to muster up. And, too, some funerals I had to speak at. And I enjoyed that. To me, it was an honor. Okay? But that's not easy, okay, to get yourself there and to share. If you're going to really share something that, takes something, So, but, I felt like this is God's calling for me to do this, and I know it was, and I felt it, but it also painful. Okay. So, it's, sharing yourself, and going through these things, it takes some, especially to me, as I've gotten older, I'm more, introverted. I get my batteries recharged being alone with occasional connections with people. And that's a little bit why it's a little bit tough for me to do the home base, because I know I'm going to be connected to a community. And, I could do it. Guys, I can get along with anyone. And I may. And I got to deal with some gossips. I got to deal with some troublemakers, even though I know 90% of most communities are all positive. The only reason I would deal with that 10% negative is because I feel better quality of life. Because if I stay on the road and I feel like my quality of life is 50% less than what it would be as if I woke up every day at the beach, that doesn't make sense. And that's the dilemma I'm faced with. So I appreciate you sharing, Jesse. It gives me an opportunity. Look, to Charles' point too, this is why I do like YouTube a little bit. Even though, like everything, it's a little bit of pain in the ass. It's also something that kind of helps me to talk things out with myself. And hopefully it helps you guys and girls, talk things out and throw some things out there for yourself. Why? Because it's iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Okay. And, but that's all I got tonight. I think I'm going to have some soup or some chicken. I would like to be vegetarian, but tofu ain't everywhere. Even I was vegetarian for a while. I don't mind some chicken. But eventually, look, if society went all non-animals, I'd be fine with that, because I don't want to kill animals unnecessarily. But As of now, we're just pushing forward. Brandon, what's up, bro? Thank you, Brandon. Good to see you, man. How's everything, Brandon? Love to you. Brandon's in the building. Jesse, one flying solo. Charles, ESP, talking it out, maybe an international travel. Pat Go. She's got a super duty homemade washer and dryer. David Lopez, getting spam emails from RV dealers. Tracy, cute super sticker. I thank you again. Pluto. Remember, always have a folder of the accomplishments you do as you go through the work year. Put those accomplishments, put those emails in a folder. Because at the end of the year, you're not going to remember them all. And remember, even when you knock things out of the park, you're not going to get more than a 2 to 5% annual raise. And, and then you're going to get maybe your bonus, depending on what your bonus is. But even usually those things have fixed ranges. So, to get more than that, you're going to have to get a different job, but secure that new job before you leave your current job. Again, shout out to you, Andre and Tony. Love to you also. Charles says, I like having an online network of people to talk to. You and Cartoon Mark. Now, you guys have been a blessing. There's no doubt about that. Shout out to you guys. Oh, Yadara. Shout out to our Latina Mills. My best environment. Yadara, $4.99 super chat. Yadara, love to you. Shout out to your good-looking avatar pic. I want to tell you this, Yadara. I believe you enjoy the single life, such as I and many other people in this live chat. A lot of us in the live chat, we're singles, we're loners. There's some people in here married. Some people got a boyfriend or girlfriend. But I thank you. I thank you, Dodo. Oh, Brandon, back to back. Like Drake, back to back super chats. $5 super chat from Brandon. Brother, I want to tell you, thank you, Brandon, man. You're staying with me, man. We're finishing the year strong. We got 2 more weeks, Brandon, and 2021 is over. Okay. The fourth quarter is getting finished strong. Okay. I appreciate you, Brandon, staying with me. I appreciate your positive attitude. I hope your dreams coming true. And when you have a bad day, I had a bad day last week, guys and girls, and I'm just now recovering. I want you to know that you can have a bad day and it could take you weeks to recover. But keep showing up. I showed up for the past week. I didn't stop showing up because you got to keep in a flow. If you stay down, the world will keep kicking you. But if you keep walking, you'll pass by some bullshit. Okay. Never forget it. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Yadara. Shout out to you both. Uh-oh. That's my man, Hal. My good brother. Hal, I think about you often, man. You know what it is. Positive attitude, 6'6", starting at shooting guard, number 23, Hal Woods. All you girls out there that want a tall guy with a job, with his own apartment, direct message Hal. But remember this. If you look back at your life and you can say that I've been happier single and more emotionally distraught in a relationship, you got to be very careful in getting back in a relationship. Brandon also said, new year, new life. Well, remember, new day, new life. Just do the best you can each day. Use the calendar to track progress, but not to start a new life. Let the calendar track things as a point of reference, but remember, every minute should be managed as a new day, as a new time, as forward, not backwards. Good job. Brandon says, thank you. Thank you also, man. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Dara. Thank you again, Tracy, Pluto, all my members. Hal, I'm out here in these streets. Well, brother, I can tell you this, straight fact. I'm out here in these streets, okay? Okay, literally. But I'm not in a bad area. Why? Because I spent time there. And as I gotten older, I want to be in better environments. I want to be in quality environments. Why? Best life. And I recommend anyone out there, if you're in a bad environment, work to get into a better environment. Why? Better quality life. Now, some of it's mindset. Some people, they just won't go to a better environment. And I'm not trying, everyone's got to do whatever they want. Okay. I was in Central Florida 2 days ago. It wasn't a bad area as far as crime, but it just wasn't my best environment. Okay. So you got to think about that. Brandon, okay, I hear you. Blessings. Brandon, love to you, man. You know what it is. 2021 is going to be your new life. Even though we got 2 weeks left, it starts today, brother. Love to you. Charles. Sam, you asked me about a wish tonight. Yeah, I said, Charles, if I can give you one wish, what would it be? Let's see what he got to say. He goes, I want over 300. Here we go. We're measuring progress. He goes, I want over 300 paid subscribers for my online CAD courses. I want to get a level where I don't even have to dip retirement in the future. Okay, let's talk about that. One is I think it's good you put numbers on your goals. I think it's good if you read the nutritional labels of a food box. I think it's good that you measure things. Now, you got to be realistic, and you got to start small and build up. I got almost 30,000 subs as I make this video. I have an option to join, even though all my videos are free. Out of my 30,000 subs, about 50 people join on a monthly basis. Out of those 50, I would say 10, 15 are regulars in a live chat. Now, obviously, you can change the metrics. You can change the subscription amount. But you got to understand that you're lucky if you get 1% of your subscribers engaged at a deep level. But I want to tell you this. My subscribers... let's say that. My members and my super chats account for less than 25% of my monthly revenue on YouTube. If you're going to make money on YouTube, the overwhelming amount is going to come from ad revenue, and you're going to have a couple videos that take fire. And mine have been RV reviews sprinkled in with a couple videos I did by myself. The memberships and the super chats are supplemental. They're a blessing from the Lord. And I thank you all for them. But I can tell you now, as someone who's been doing this for 4 years, and I got about 2 years worth of that for the past 2 years of when I've been really monetized, and I got about 2 years worth of data. And I can tell you that the data shows 75% of your revenue that's going to be sustainable and really push you is your ad revenue. Which means you got to have some videos that speak to the masses. What are mine? RV reviews, where I don't show my face. It has nothing to do about me. It has everything to do about what the masses are, some people are looking for to buy, or information they need. That doesn't mean everyone should do RV reviews. Some people may just look for CAD tutorials. Now, that doesn't mean you should neglect the other 25%, which are the truly engaged in your channel. They're the lifeblood in some instances, but the lifeblood of revenue is going to come from the masses. You got to have crossover appeal. My crossover appeal doesn't come from talking about dildos and environments. My crossover appeal comes from generic RV reviews. Now, again, doesn't mean everyone needs to do RV reviews, because out of my 1,000 of RV reviews, about 5 have gotten over 100,000. About 1 has really brought me a lot of money. The 2021 Jayco Swift, the Class B, I did last year when I was walking through a RV dealer. It's got about 1.4 million views. So, but that has probably earned a total of $10,000 over the course of about 12 months. Just that one video. But that's a huge part of the chunk. Okay. So I want to lift back the veil on YouTube. You need the supplemental. You need a level of subscription. You need a level of super chats. You need a level of engagement, and you need views above all else. And there's exceptions. There's some channels, guys. Some of the biggest channels, like Pepe Le Pew, who's got like Millions. It's all about him. So there's no exact science. He does no RV reviews, nothing for the masses. I don't even get his channel. He's like the biggest YouTuber ever. So my way is not the only way. My way is actually a small way. But I want to share my way so that you get some information. And what I can tell you is that you have to look at YouTube like a comprehensive fight. You're not just going to hit an uppercut and knock them out. Even Mike Tyson, out of all of his fights, only a few of them were knockouts in the first round. You know, even the ones where he had some good knockouts, they went more than one round. And don't forget, a lot of people forget this, Mike Tyson got knocked out. Not just by Buster Douglas, but by Evander Holyfield, by who was the British guy, Lennox Lewis, and even by a couple other people elderly in his career. So you can't just have one viral video. You got to have a jab. You got to have an upload every day or every other day or once a week. You know, you got to mix it up a little bit. Some personal videos, some professional. You got to take the hits. I mean, now you don't got the thumbs down. That's one less hit. You got to take the trolls. Now you got a lot of ways to block the trolls, you know, so maybe, like, again, I played YouTube when it was like the, you know, Bad Boys, Detroit Pistons. Like, there was no rules. Everyone was just coming at you. Okay. So, hopefully those words helped someone out there. Hal, Sam is getting that bag. Look, this December is my biggest revenue month ever. Okay. How much am I going to make this month? $6,000. Okay. My biggest ever. Now, what do I normally make? Well, this year probably averaged around 2,000, 2 to 3. Last year, averaged around 800. Year before that, 200. Year before that, nothing. So for a year, I did it for nothing. Next year, I made about $200 a month. Year after that, about 800. This year was a big boom. Okay. Now, here's the other thing, guys. It doesn't keep, you know, there's no guarantee to keep going up. But now I got a portfolio. Could it go down? Yeah. Could it channel end? Could YouTube stop paying you? Yeah, it's a side hustle. Remember, keep your W-2. I kept my W-2. And that's why I could do YouTube how I want. That's why I can tell you all this shit. A lot of people lied to you. 1099 on the side and do the work. A lot of you want a 1099, you don't do the work. Pat Goat. I believed in Santa until I was 5th grade. Yeah, I would say, look, your life changes in middle school, not pre-K. That's where I think the government makes a mistake. They're worried about pre-K. Your life changes in middle school during puberty. Grades 5 through 8 is when your life changes. Puberty. That's when you stop believing in Santa and you start believing in the cooch. That's when you stop believing in the North Pole and you start believing in the pole in the guy's pants. That's when you don't want your mom to drop you off in front of the school anymore. Middle school. That's when your life changes. Christina, I'm late, but I will catch up. Christina, love to you. Big bear hug all the way to Indiana. Love to you, Christina. I go. My dry washer going to get me gold. Yeah, I'll tell you, that contraption looks pretty wild. Yeah, but I love you, Pago, and I'm glad that you're inspired by it. I respect you. Pago, what happened to D? D from New Hampshire, either one is she doesn't get any value out of the channel anymore, which is fine. 2 is she just doesn't join anymore, which is fine. Or 3 is she went backsliding so far she can't stand to listen to me. There is nothing wrong with saying, inspirational nomad, you don't inspire me anymore. I'm leaving. Just don't tell me that. I'm just leave. Because I do the same. I'm human. I don't control anyone. I don't want to control. I don't ask people like, where you been? For the most part, like like guilt tripping you. Oh, where you been? Nah, I don't care. So, but I thank God that you mentioned D name. We hope she's doing well. Now, D, she bought a house during the pandemic and then she didn't like the house. That's at least what I remember. Last time we spoke to D, she had bought a house during the pandemic. Remember, I went live every day during the pandemic. I gave you a video every day during the pandemic. Remember, a lot of people living in their car. Talking about, I've been living in a car for 2 years straight. I don't remember videos during the pandemic. Yeah, I don't remember videos during the pandemic that you was living in your car. I don't remember seeing videos you in a truck stop in South Carolina like I did. They was probably in their parents' house. Now, I wanted to go see my mom, and I did a video up there too. So that's why, guys, you know, they want to put in the work when there's not a national emergency. You put in the work when there's... I was able to, I think, really go remote because I showed up to my job in the office when there was a national emergency, when there was Hurricane Sandy. I believe part of my YouTube success is I showed up every day when there was a national emergency during the pandemic. A lot of these other people, they ain't do it. And that's why I tell you, I don't feel guilty. Okay. And that's why I sit my ass in South Florida. And I say, Sam, enjoy your life. Pago, Christina, which is better, Indiana or Brazil? That's an interesting question. Yeah, Christina's from Brazil. And she moved to Indiana. That's an interesting question. Pago, Christina, have you been to Amazon jungle? Pago, a lot of money bag mouths, etc. Laughing good. I can tell you this, guys and girls. I haven't been to the Amazon jungle, but I've been to jungles in the Everglades in South Florida. And what I found is I want to be by the beach. Christina, Brazil is in big trouble, Pago. Lovely weather like Florida. Yeah, look, a lot of people that come from a third world country. Well, I don't know if Brazil is considered a third world country. I guess in parts of it maybe, but also there's a lot of development, so I don't know. Again, I had a friend growing up. His family was Brazilian, and he used to go back and forth to Brazil. Shout out to them. They were great to me. I don't know. Like I said, I've met people from other parts of the world, and a lot of times they come here and they're conservative because they fear America is going to be like where they came from. But like I say, guys, in America, don't matter if you're a Republican or Democrat, guys, everyone wants to print money, okay? Because the Federal Reserve that still ain't lowering interest rate, that's the guy that Trump elected, that Biden reelected. The Federal Reserve is the most important part of the economy. Now, individual states do matter, okay? But I want to tell you this, some of the poorest states are Republican. Kentucky, Alabama. So, and I don't know why people say don't move to Kentucky, tornadoes. But I will say this, guys, politics. Now, I will say this, DeSantis, he did good during the pandemic. Got to give him credit. I don't want him to be president, but he did good. I want him to continue to be governor. Okay. So there's no exact science to life, but that all is part of your environment. I wouldn't want to live in California as far as the politics, but I've never been to California. So a lot of people say, I love the weather in California. I love the weather more in Florida. A lot of people say, oh yeah, California's too, they got tent cities everywhere. Guys, you've never been to a bad part of South Carolina where there's a lot of homeless people? There's a lot of homeless people in Miami. There's a lot of homeless people in Kentucky. Meth labs. So guys, don't get caught in the politics. Hal, Sam, what video is it of you in a snowstorm? I got a few of them. Just YouTube search Inspirational Nomad Snowstorm. Christina, retracted. I'm sorry, Christina. I don't know how I got into politics. I apologize. Pago, why is Brazil in trouble? Pago, wow. What was that like? Did you see anaconda snake? I saw a couple snakes. I saw alligator. What did I do, Pago? I got the hell out of Dodge. Why? I'm not like some, outdoor guy like that. I'm a beach elitist. Yeah. Shit. I'm over here watching CNBC, trying to figure out what the Federal Reserve doing, looking at bikinis. Shit. I'm not making my own washer and dryer, looking at anacondas and, all that other stuff. No, that ain't me. I'm an elitist. Christina, lived 3 days up in the Amazon jungle. Did you? Wow. I give you credit, Christina. I didn't want to do that. I don't know. Christina, we love you. All right, guys and girls, I love everyone. I got to go number one bathroom. I've been on here for an hour. I want you to remember your environment matters. If you're in the Amazon jungle or if you're in Indiana. Christina, you prefer Indiana over the Amazon jungle? Hal, I don't see them. Hal, I'm going to do a search right now, brother. Drop this link. Hal's in the building. Inspirational nomad. I'm just going to put inspirational nomad and then the word snow. See what comes up. Inspirational nomads in the sun. Okay, here's one from 3 years ago. Let me share the link in a live chat if it lets me. That got over 8,000 views. Copy. Let's go back to the live chat. Yeah, that Brazilian president is like the Brazilian Trump. Isn't he, Christina? There's a link to one of them, Hal. Let me know if you can see that and click on it. Yeah, that guy, he was a big Trumper, a Brazilian president. Good night, Isby. I love you. Christina says Brazil is like a fourth world, is it? Right now, COVID is taking a huge toll. Yeah, well, that was that Trumper guy. What was his name? What's the president of Brazil? The president, I forgot his name. They're probably going to elect him out. Pat Go. Oh, I'm sorry. That's all right. Yeah, Brazil's that bad, huh? I know Brazil had a lot of poverty. At least like when I was talking to people who went there. But I know, it wasn't all bad, but there, there's poverty and a lot of sex. A lot of sex. At least, again, that's what I heard. Who knows? But look, when you're dealing with a poor country, the sex trade is rampant because that's the only way to make money. And it's a shame. And that's why I shame a lot of these guys who go to Thailand and these foreign countries for the sole reason of getting with chicks. I think it's a disgrace. All right, guys and girls, you know what it is. I want to go have my soup or chicken. I want not to be YouTube famous. I want to be financially free, living in my best environment. I do want to be a positive influence. I don't want to be a negative person as best I can. Hal, drop that mic. Okay, you see it? Oh, Christina prefers Indiana. Christina, I love you. I want to give you a hug tonight, Christina. Pago. Thank you, Hal, for the drop the mic emoji. Pago. My cats grooming each other has over 6K views. See, that's the other thing. I'm sitting over here telling you guys to do it, and then you just put a cat up there. A cat falls off a recliner, gets 5 million views. So there's no exact science to life, Good night, Brandon. Thank you again. All right, guys and girls, let me get off the stage. I love you. I'm sorry if I ever hurt you in any way. Remember, positivity as best you can. And just do the best you can. I love you. Thank you.